super comfortable with their well-sustained round out draft. But this is, ladies and gentlemen, the first day of this tournament itself as we go into the gorge. BTR on towards the blue side and Twisted Minds on the red side.
Exactly right, BTR, Bigatron by Vitality, going up against Twisted Minds, game number 1 for tournament life on the line. We have obviously Sagi saying there that for the comp of BTR, they have the sustainability, but in terms of team fight for the side of Twisted Minds, they have the control, they have the sure, they have the unbridled outburst from the Zhongfei.
Yep, so they really need to land those skills. This is very important for Highline. If Highline gets that first catch, I think you can kind of soft guarantee that the first blood should go into the hands of Twisted Minds.
Oh, absolutely, especially with clean on the lamb, right? But I mean, I want to note, right, let's be able to use that space right down to the middle of the map here, go for that minion wave as well to get some more gold over to the side of Twisted Minds. They are from between these two teams, right? It's like that goldie, but there again, 90 has to be forced out the flash there on the side of Twisted Minds. They try and get some control come through, but it's going to be the Twilight from the Wángzhě. But now, can he get the death from below? Can this be the following kill for the first blood? Not quite for the side of Twisted Minds.
Yeah, actually quite difficult because tough change very soon.
It may do indeed. I mean, they keep focusing top side of the map here on the tough Z, but now it's going to be that 2v1 90 just trying to block any kind of extras into the T1 here. He doesn't have the flash, so he has to kind of just fight and brawl for this one. But instead, he tries to get a knock up here onto Highline. Maybe this could be it. The diving onto the back line here. The pull comes through. It's going to be the Karma for level 1 right now for the side of Twisted Minds, getting that first blood onto the gorge.
Yeah, Twisted Minds just edging it out. That was a nice attempt by TWIS, right? In order to stop the TP coming in where they could balance out the numbers. But unfortunately for them, even with the numbers,
was sacrificed here for the side of Twisted Minds to get that first blood, but maybe potentially here a little bit of a contestation for the Tyrant. We see the flash in from Neil already, trying to get the CC onto Highline. He gets taken down as well. But ultimately, Twisted Minds comes out with the Tyrant.
Yeah, he's going to be a first one. If he can get 4 kills. And at the same time, you can see 90 is just applying pressure. They want to force BTR to come and defend, of which that role is going to be delegated to ZhangQ here.
Yes. See here, TWIS just funneling that minion wave down to the bottom side of the map, trying to pay back that dividends down there. But now 90 get caught. Hey, forced a flash! He was found in the wrong neighborhood, and I feel like we saw there Twisted Minds, we saw Clean, Highlang, Shanks looking to go and help him, but then it was all thanks to BTR's fantastic rotation that cut them off.
Yep, and it's a double whammy, right? 90 actually had to use the flash, but still gave his life. Now with that,
first blood and obviously the T1 takedown to the bottom side of the map and losing the Tyrant, but now they've been able to kind of resurface. They get the T1 into the mid lane. Top side of the map is looking nuts. It's going to be Twisted Minds trying to get the first T2 onto the gorge here. You can see 90 Clean rotating down bot side here as well with City Boy. Maybe potentially set up a big team fight for this T2 down to the bot side. Really put pressure onto Zahn.
Yeah, this T2 is definitely a big prize to have, right? Shanks already put it there.
Oh, Neil with the flash in with the mobile tempo. There's the unending sorrow as well, but maybe just only just getting a little bit aside of Twisted Minds. No real setup for a pickup.
I mean, Twisted Minds, they have done what they needed to do, which is to apply pressure and put a lot of damage, right? That T2 is not going to stay standing for long. In fact, Shanks is here, and the minions are approaching T2.
Yeah, tough stuff to be expended for that one, and they are going to go for the Tyrant as well. So they do get a Tyrant, but yeah, so just back to your point there, Ken, it's going to take a little less now for the side of Twisted Minds, but there it is. The Unbridled Outburst is really going to set up the pick-up onto Zahn there, and now Neil goes down. We was talking about sustainability for the side of BTR, and it's not looking sustainable. Shanks with the double kill.
Yeah, it's a big play, and one mistake, like you mentioned before, Twisted Minds take 3 lives from the side of BTR.
They aggressive in the early part and then use the Parasol back to then obviously go in after the front line of the side of Twisted Minds goes and retreats into the team fight, or just sit behind carefully, pick up the stragglers.
Yeah. Take a look at the goal. There is no difference between the two teams at this point. Now, the 10-minute mark is where the difference will be made.
Yeah, I mean, we look at that gold lead. It's pretty much neck and neck right now between BTR and Twisted Minds, but these team fight setups are definitely going in the favor of the Gorge mobilization with the Storm Strike. Picks up Island, but now it's going to be that Unbridled Outburst that gives City Boy a little bit more of a second wind here. They could potentially got 2 picks onto the side of Twisted Minds, but now we're seeing TWIS. He is looking like a strong front line for the sides on BTR.
And this makes life very difficult for the side of Twisted Minds because they have no control now. The only form of control is City Boy's ultimate or Clean's ultimate, of which requires you to dive. And that's a risk they cannot take at this time because it's too close.
It's very close indeed. I mean, of resources and potential takedown for your jungler as well, right? I mean, that's where the oppression from Twisted Minds, especially the backline of BTR, could come from here. It's the side of Clean, but Clean maybe getting caught out now. He's trying to get the dunk onto Neo, but that's not going to happen right now. 90 is trying to get as much HP regen. They do force the flash out from 90 as well. They're trying to catch Highlang with the fur ball. Just a pretty much a bit of a...
And all of a sudden, there is a little entry point for Twisted Mind to try.
Speaking of entry points here, 90 tries to go in to steal the Overlord, but he has no smite, so no smite, that's a problem, and now you're in the pit. That's a problem too, you get taken down as well. Nearly to the backline, tries to get CC onto Shanks, but no. He responds kindly with a kill, but now double kill going over to John Q. They're looking for a little bit more here on the side of BTR. Overall, a 2-2 trade.
But a big win for the side of BTR. They can be patient because in the mid lane, Shadow Vanguards and the Shadow Overlord are flying down as well. Shanks is gonna try. He's not gonna be able to do it.
He's just trying to put pressure on, right? Trying to force them away from this T2, but I mean, once they have the critters, BTR, they seem to have multiple facets going into these team fights, but right now look to try and go for the Shadow Overlord, Shadow Tyrant, sorry, here. It's going to be John Q getting that pick up here. So the one thing obviously they were kind of lacking, obviously is John, we saw get the Siege Breaker as well. He now has the additional damage from that Shadow Tyrant. He's definitely going to be packing a punch.
Number one, it seems like the pressure is increasing by a lot. Once again,
pressure increasing, but also the Gorge mobilizing as well with the throw of into the back line here. Now Neil tries to go in and tries to get a stun onto Shanks, but no avail. But they are able to force him away from that T3 down to the bot side of the map. So once again, Ace could be the case here. Maybe just trying to clear up these minion waves, get the pressure here as well, but 90 just looking for a little bit of wintel for his teammates here, saying, guys, they're trying to rotate from mid, trying to go onto the Overlord.
It all comes down to vision here, right? The Gorge mobilization by Zhang Q is going to be very critical in this and vital in the team fight, because if he lands that onto members like Shanks, I think the fight is over.
Oh, absolutely. Shanks, if he gets taken out in these early parts of the team fights or even gets caught out here, it's definitely going to be bye-bye night for the side of Twisted Minds. But now you can just see them posturing around this Shadow Overlord. Maybe just trying to make a bit of a bait switch. Obviously, bot side of the map, they have the super minions onto the side of BTR.
Yeah, it's literally a waiting game for BTR, right? How much do you want to try and commit? And as long as Highlang does not get that Silky imprint, then it's not going to be easy for the side of Twisted Minds to start anything in this game. They're just going to consistently reset this Shadow Overlord on the side of BTR.
Yeah, but they've got to be careful though, right? Because obviously, if you keep doing this, Twisted Minds going to find a way in, or alternatively, BTR is going to find their way in, and it's going to be sort of like good night for either of these two teams. But you can see now, City Boy, he does have that Unbridled Outburst, trying to get the pull here onto TWIS, because obviously he is going to be the front line here. Unbridled Outburst catches onto 3, 90 goes in, forces out even the bastards onto the side of BTR, but they are able to reconvene, go for their Azure Golem, no pick up for the side of Twisted Minds just yet.
They might rush this. Clean has shown himself at the bottom part of the map. They have expended all the big elements on the side of Twisted Minds. Right now, it's all for BTR. They can make this steal, and if Clean doesn't show up soon, they will lose this.
They will lose this indeed. They're going to try and contest it, but no, it's going to be the Overlord going up the side of BTR once again, but Clean into the back line, tries to go onto the side of TWIS, but he is tough nonetheless, but gets taken down. When you have 5 members on you, you can't sustain that kind of damage.
Beautiful work. Exactly what you need from Shanks, and right now, you can see Clean making a beeline for the Shadow Tyrant. They need this as their turnaround for the side of BTR. I feel like they have to let this one go.
Yes, they have to let the Tyrant go. They don't, well, they could obviously go in with John Q, but at the same time, at what cost?
It's this bleeding wound on the bottom side of the map, and they can't lose a team fight here.
They can't lose a team fight here. No, definitely not. TWIS cannot get caught out by Highlang. Once again, we've seen that scenario play out already, but there it is. The death from below. Gorge mobilization being procced here from both of the two junglers, so they don't have their ultimate. And Verbal goes down, looks for the retreat, look for a push here into the mid and into the top side of the map here, could be BTR. With 13 seconds on the map, but there it is, 10. Very frightful time coming here, and then speaking of frightful, you don't want to lose your jungler at this point in time! John Q goes there and builds the Sage's Sanctuary a little too late.
All right, they have 39 seconds. Can they hold Twisted Minds? I don't think so. Clean now has the opening to try and catch the Tempest Dragon. Shanks is going to help him as well. BTR have found himself in a very tight spot now.
I mean, we don't love tight spots, do we? We are very much claustrophobic here on the broadcast desk. We like our room and freedom as we see fit, but as you can see here, it's not really the advantage of BTR, right? Like, they have definitely been forced into a very sticky situation.
But this is exactly what we need from the KMW finalists and hopeful.
It's been played very tactfully by both of these two teams.
Yeah, it's really trying to keep it out of range. That's the biggest difficulty they have, right? BTR, as long as they keep it out of range, the towers will still be active. But Twisted Minds, they also have a very quick turret-taking power.
They do indeed. They have the Vanguards come through here as well as Shanks with that increased damage from these Vanguards as well. You can see him just trying to like poke and prod onto the side of BTR. See him there, Ormston just taking a lot of damage. There it is, there's Control coming through once again. Unbridled Embers coupled up with everything in between. Now we see the opening of that bot side of the map as well. Two members of the side of BTR do go down, and we're looking at a third. Neil goes down, the Stampede locks on into place, and there it is. Game number 1 Crystal for Twisted Minds.
Pulling it to the absolute limits here. First Tempest Dragon of game number 1, and Twisted Minds turn their fate.